That down, let's stick on the theme here of the MCU for a moment and talk about this. Obviously, the big thing coming, not just in the MCU, but in the movie world, is the new Avengers films that are coming, right? Infinity War and Endgame are two of the highest grossing films in the history of cinema. And I have no doubt that the next two are going to be right up there too. We got Doomsday and we got Secret Wars coming. At one point, Kevin Feige said about 6 months ago that, I don't know, you can probably expect to see 50 to 60 characters in it. That's a lot. And where are you going to get them from? Now, in a recent interview, the Russo brothers were basically asked, what are the chances that you bring MCU Disney Plus characters into the movieverse? And their answer was pretty interesting. This comes to us from the folks over at Screen Rant, who wrote, in an interview with Tech Radar, the outlet asked the Russo brothers if characters like Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop, or Wiccan could show up in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, following their respective introductions on various Disney Plus shows. While keeping it cryptic, Anthony Russo gave the following response about how they are approaching the cast for the two movies. He said, in terms of what we're drawing on for our storytelling, we take a comprehensive view of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, without getting into anything more specific than that, this is the universe we're telling a story within. You can read into that what you like. All right. For me, the way I interpreted that is this, is that the Russos are not looking at the MCU as two different things. I personally do, and I kind of think maybe they should, but they look at one holistic Marvel Cinematic Universe. That includes the movies and the Disney Plus series. Hell, I think they probably even are thinking about the animated stuff. At the same time, they take what they're calling a comprehensive view of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That being the case, I don't think they're even considering whether or not a character in the MCU is a character from the movies or a character from the TV shows. I think they're going to pick their characters that they want in the movie strictly based on what character do we think is going to work in our movie. And I think that's just about it. So I think there are going to be characters that are going to be on the table. Now, I want us to go over to, again, I forgot to give Jonathan the heads up on this. I meant to.
I am ready with your classroom.
Let's go over to the classroom. I knew you would be. All right. I want to bring up some Marvel Cinematic Universe characters that are Disney Plus series characters and talk about the likelihood of could they be in Doomsday or Secret Wars, or both, either or both. Let's going to start with Moon Knight. Moon Knight is a character that I'm going to say has a 20% chance of being in the upcoming movies. I don't think the series went over particularly well. I think they have some regrets about the series. I love the actors in it, all that kind of stuff. But I think there's a chance, but I'm going to go 20%. Rob, what about you for Moon Knight?
I'd say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I don't think this show did a good job of establishing Moon Knight as a hero. It was too focused on other stuff. So why would he even be incorporated into anything? But maybe, look, I love Moon Knight. I do.
He's one of your favorites.
But it's a great hot toy I got out of that. But other than that,
Chris, chances we see Moon Knight in there.
I'd raise it to 40. Make him make sense. Put Dune Daddy in it. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't see why you can't soft reboot a little bit. On
Exactly. Yeah, because he also doesn't have to be that specific, Mark.
Well, remember, they ended the series with the third personality popping up, right? So, I mean, but is there too much, to Rob's point, is he even a hero at this point? And do you have to spend too much time in these movies? There's going to be so many characters. Do you have time to dedicate just to Moon Knight to unpack him a little bit?
Just put in there, who are you? That's a great question, and never move on from it.
So we're all saying under 50, though. We're all saying under 50.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next Disney Plus character. Ms. Marvel. All right. I'm going to say 100% Ms. Marvel. And it's not even because of the concept art that came out. It's clear they got plans for Ms. Marvel. Now, whether you have watched the show or not a ton of people have watched the show. It's one of the best things they've done on TV. It's fantastic. And she was the best part of the Marvels. Kamala Khan she was the best part of the Marvel. She's delightful to watch. Love her. And Kevin Feige loves her. The uppity ups at Marvel love her. They clearly set up that thing with Kate Bishop at the end of it and everything too. They clearly have big plans for her. And then you throw on top of that the concept art. I think 100%. And she's going to be tied in with some way with Shang-Chi, with the rings. They've already kind of been mixing those mythologies about her bangle with the rings and everything. I think 100% she's going to be there. Chris, chances Ms. Marvel is going to be in one or both of these movies.
Yeah, absolutely. 99.9%.
So you're getting close to mine.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob?
Now, I'm going to say 100% too. Just let me say, though, for the record, I completely object to what they're doing with Miss Marvel right now in the comics.
Oh, I'm not aware of what they're doing with her in the comics.
Oh, well, I don't quite know all the details because we haven't got them yet, but they are retconning all of X-Men history. All of it. Every big X-Men event you remember, and they're going to use her to do it.
No.
For their 50th anniversary of Giant Size X-Men 1.
All right, well, we'll see how that turns out.
With writers that don't deserve to be able to do that.
All right. This next character is a bit of a cheat because he is a movie character who kind of became a Disney Plus character, Loki. Now, I have heard no official reports of anything of them having Loki in it, to be honest with you. But I'm still going to say 80% for Loki on this. And the reason I'm going to go as high as 80% is because my guess right now is that they substitute out Molecule Man for Loki. Now, they're going to change the story up from the comics, but I think the basic bones of the story will be there. And I think that MacGuffin character, I think, becomes Loki, who is sitting on the throne holding all the timelines together and all that kind of stuff. So because I haven't heard anything else verifying this, I won't say 100, but I'm going to say a solid 80% that it's going to be Loki. Chris?
I think I'd go a little higher. I think I'd go 90 just because of how Loki season 2 ended, and it sets it up perfectly to have him be that kind of replacement character. Side quest, I also got really excited because of the way you said Loki. I thought you said Lockheed at first. And I was like, hell yeah, I bet that little dragon's going to be in here. That'd be rad.
Rob,
Loki will be good.
Chances Loki's in there.
100%.
You can go 100.
Because you can't take, I mean, he's an establishment character from the MCU. He's old school. And where they left him, how do you do Secret Wars and not have him in there? Especially to where he is. I think it's a necessity. You have to. And plus, he is one of the heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
He's absolutely one of the heavy hitters. I mean, they didn't treat him as that for a long time, but he is absolutely one of the heavy hitters. And again, now, do you agree with my theory that the best place to put him is as a replacement for
100%.
Man in there?
And you have both forces having to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think that they can do, they have to put him in the movie.
All right. So let's go on to the next one. This was a recent one. Different screen, John. This is a different one. Agatha. Of course, Agatha just had a huge presence on Disney Plus, massive viewership that went up and up and up and up. I loved the character. I thought the show was surprisingly good. I'm going to say 10%. I just don't see how Agatha fits into an Avengers style story at all. Now, again, the success of the show, Catherine Hahn is a goddess. I just don't see a fit for, I think you can tell other stories with her, but I think she needs to be on the periphery of the MCU. I don't see her fitting in there, but it's not a nothing chance. I'm going to say 10%. Rob, what about you?
I'm going to go higher because depending on what they do with Doom, if Doom in fact is imbued with supernatural powers, the
Which
God
they have done in the
Emperor,
comics.
That's the thing, and I think that there's going to be a supernatural element to this story. I think there has to be and I think Agatha and both Scarlet Witch and Agatha are going to play some role.
Ooh.
Chris?
I was going to say 1% because what's that ghost going to do?
You know what they're going to do? Remember at the end of the one Iron Man movie, he took out his reactor, and then in the next movie we see him in, he's just back to being Iron Man again. I mean, she could just pop up in the next thing and she's already got a body back. How'd you get your body back? it's a story for another time.
Ask Mark Spector.
They'll be like,
what we'll
Moon
do.
Knight gave it to me.
Yeah.
They're like, who are you? I don't know.
I don't know.
Move on.
Move on.
Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor for today's episode, Ridge. All right, guys, let's talk wallets for a second. If you are still using that bulky, falling apart, overstuffed leather wallet, then it's time for an upgrade. I've had my eye on Ridge wallets for a couple of years now, and I finally recently made the switch to it, and I am absolutely never going back. This thing looks great, it's sleek, ultra minimalist, and can hold up to 12 cards plus cash, all without bulking up my pockets. It's made from high performance materials like carbon fiber and titanium, meaning it's built to last a lifetime. Ridge will even back it with a lifetime warranty. And this thing has the dual combo of looking great and being far more comfortable than that thick wallet. Because there's no win with the thick wallet, right? Like if you put it in your back pocket, it's uncomfortable to sit down, and it looks absolutely stupid in the front of your pants if you shove it into your front pocket. And right now, Ridge is having their once-a-year anniversary sale. Get up to 40% off at ridge.com/Campea. Just head over to ridge.com/Campea to see their biggest sale of the year. Now, after you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that I sent you. Once again, that's ridge.com/Campea. All right, let's go on to this character. This is another character you might have forgotten had their own Disney Plus show. Echo. This was one they really dropped the ball on. This is a character that could have been so damn interesting, and they literally made me not care about her. I don't see any place for her to fit in, not just in an Avengers movie. I don't see a place for her to fit in even back in Disney Plus. I'm going to go 0% that we see Echo in Doomsday or Secret Wars. Rob?
Look, I would have said 0% too, but the fact that they'd make a direct reference to her in Daredevil means that she's not
Indirect.
forgotten.
They didn't even name her.
Well, no, but I mean, you know, I think that there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility Cloak and Dagger can be in this movie. I mean, you know, the New Mutants. Who knows?
New Mutants. Get Anya Taylor-Joy back in there.
I
Chris,
love that, by the way.
chances we see Echo.
Yeah, I'd go 25% just because she appeared in the comics. So there's the possibility.
All right.
In the Secret Wars comics, not just Marvel in general.
Right. Yeah.
Slightly connected to Echo. He's on right now. Daredevil.
I've heard tell of him.
This is an interesting one. Because with the head of Marvel TV saying we're doing Daredevil shows every year, like that's a big commitment. I do like, there's going to be a lot of people that think Daredevil being in it is 100%. And I think that is way overestimating it. Do I think it's likely? Yes. But the highest I will go is 70%. I really do think they might be just positioning him to keep him on Disney Plus. And yeah, and unless you feel tempted to say he's way too popular not to put him in there. Agatha had higher viewership than Daredevil does. Just saying. So I still think it's likely. I'm going to say 70%. Chris, what about you?
Ooh. With that TV schedule, that is hard. And we talked about this yesterday of, is he going to be going toe-to-toe in this event with all these other superpowered people? Because he is more boots on the ground. Although they have heightened his powers, it seems. 45.
Oh, okay. So you're going to go lower than I did.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, what about you?
I think higher than that, only because like we've seen the Daredevil popping up in Spider-Man. I think whether it's Matt Murdock or whether it's Daredevil and you're dealing with the multiverse, he will be in some way, shape, or form. We will see him in either Doomsday or Secret Wars in some capacity.
Okay.
Might just be a cameo.
What number are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it 75%.
75. All right. So right around where I am. All right. Now, this is another little bit of a cheat like Loki, because it's a movie character that went over to Disney Plus. Wanda. Scarlet Witch. I mean, again, the veracity of that concept art is still a little bit in question, but there was some of it that kind of looked like Scarlet Witch was in there. If he does get into the big mystic stuff, there's no bigger, heavier hitter you got than Wanda. And there has been some overtures that maybe we could see Olsen returning. Look, remember I was saying I just don't see how Agatha is a fit for this. I don't see how Wanda isn't a fit for this.
Agreed.
Again, she's out, she's dead. So I'm not going to say 100, but I'm going to give her my second highest rating on, I'm going to say 85% that we see Wanda in this. Rob, what about you?
I'm going to go 100. I mean, you have to think about what Avengers characters. I mean, she was a multiverse of madness. This is about the multiverse. This is Secret Wars. I mean, I think you have to have her, especially because her long legacy. And I don't know if you're going to go there, but are you going to talk about White Vision or Vision too? Because, I mean, again, the two of them, and you've got a Vision TV series, I think, and I'm anticipating because of Terry Metalis' involvement, it's going to be one of the best, if not the best, MCU TV series. So I think that you have to have Vision and Scarlet Witch. They're like peanut butter cups.
Chris, chances we see Wanda.
Oh, yeah, I'd go pretty high. I think like an 80%. One, because you can kind of get her redemption correct as opposed to just, well, I guess I'll die. There's also a really interesting theory that some people have that Wanda cannot be killed. And then you also have other Wanda. We have other Wandas in the multiverse,
Right,
too.
exactly.
But there's always
So-
other everybody's in the
Well, yeah, but we've
multiverse.
already met that
Well, we've
one.
seen
Yes.
her.
So she's been around. She knows what's up.
She's got a lot of explaining to do.
She does.
And her kids.
Because they all probably
Yeah.
think she
Young
killed
Avengers.
that Illuminati.
Yep.
All right, now that brings us into the next one that I was going to bring up. White Vision, connected to WandaVision. I'm actually going to say there's a higher chance that Vision's in it than I even think Wanda is. Like Wanda, I give 85%, but I honestly think White Vision is 100% going to be a part of this. They've got, like you said, they got his new show coming out. Vision is himself one of the Avengers heavy hitters when used properly and stuff like that. I don't see there being a possibility that White Vision isn't in this. Chris, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, he's got a show to promote. Let's go.
Also, I mean, first of all, Paul
So
Bettany's a
cynical.
movie star.
Yes, he is.
And I don't think, I mean, his arc in Avengers Age of Ultron was amazing. And, you know, I was born yesterday. I mean, his character is so great. And I really think what they're going to do with him in this, in his show, it's going to be, plus his power. I mean, if we're talking about the power that he wields, I mean, he can carry Mjolnir. I mean, it's like, you got to have Vision. You got to have Vision.
All right. So
White or otherwise.
who am I missing? Who am I missing here with potential?
I mean, maybe Punisher.
All right, let's put in Punisher in this. I'm gonna go 0%
Well,
on
I'm glad I
Punisher.
even bothered.
No, but it's good that you brought him up, right? Because because he is there. I just don't see how he fits into the story.
Yeah. Oh, they're saying She-Hulk in the chat.
Well, okay. So we'll do She-Hulk next.
Okay.
But Punisher, I just don't see as a fit for this. He's got his own Disney special coming up next year. That's probably like an hour long or something like that. I love John Bernthal's Punisher. Love him. I just don't see how that fits in here. What do you think?
Well, if you do Battle World and you have different, I could see him. He would fit into the Battle World.
There's that Sandman panel.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to put him in. You know, and I think if it's a 3-hour movie, you're going to have little bits for all of these people because they're going to do what Hickman did in the comic. I
Chris?
think.
Yeah, I'd still give it like a 15% chance or something of him
Okay.
popping in.
Well, now let's move on to the next one. She-Hulk. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to say 60%. And the only reason I'm going to give 60% is because of the concept art that came out. But listen, everybody knows I hated the show. But I'm totally down for them to go back to it because all the building blocks are there.
Yeah.
All the pieces are there. You got something there. You could make something great out of She-Hulk. They just had comedy writers who couldn't write comedy and legal procedural writers who couldn't write legal procedurals. That's what ruined that. The building blocks are there. And you've got the perfect actress playing her. You got Tatiana Maslany. Don't squander that. I'm going to say 60% we see She-Hulk. What do you think, Chris?
Slightly higher, 70. Redeem her.
Yeah.
Make her make sense.
Not only that, if we truly are going to delve into the multiverse, she could be a member of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's something that we could see. I mean, I would love to see her in a Fantastic Four uniform. That'd be dope.
All right. Last one I'm going to do because then we need to move on because we're running a little bit long today. I hate to do it, but we should address it because it's a major character that got introduced in a major MCU show. I believe I'm pronouncing her. Is it
Giah.
Giah?
She's going to be the cornerstone of this film.
Giah. Now, on paper, Giah should be the cornerstone. You literally have a character who has everybody's powers. Everybody's powers. There's no way they ever reference this character again. They should never, ever, ever reference this character again. This was one of the dumbest things. No, I'll say it. It was the worst thing that Marvel has ever done on Disney Plus. It was one of the stupidest ideas and badly executed. You know, we were saying She-Hulk was terrible, but all the building blocks were there. This has nothing. It has nothing. And so I'm going to go Giah. Big 0% on this. She flew away somewhere and is having tea on Mars or something. I don't know. Chris, what do you think?
What if we do 10% and that 10% is she gets spaghettified?
Oh, that would be fun. Hey, listen, if you want, I got two good ones. If you want, remember we were saying Dr. Doom needs to make a big introduction, just kind of like Thanos came out by beating up Hulk. You want to kill two birds with one stone? Dr. Doom comes out, confronts Giah, and just shreds her. Ooh. And if you really want the audience to get on board with like, not just fearing him, like taking out Giah, but to really hate this new Dr. Doom, have him kill Lilo from the new Lilo and Stitch. Have him kill that little girl and everybody will hate him.
I'm on board with this.
So he'll kill Giah first to show how powerful he is. Then he kill the little girl from Lilo and Stitch.
He's going to be like,
everybody to hate him.
He's going to be like, Doom, I'm giving you from 1 to 3. And he's like,
I'm giving you to the count of 3, dude. Yes. Anyway,
he's like, if you're going to shoot, shoot.
Rob, any chance we see Giah in this?
Oh, good, the bad, and the ugly.
I'm not going to say 0, but I'll give it 10%.
10%?
You know, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, guys. The question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, the Russo brothers saying we look at the MCU in a comprehensive view, that whether they're a character on a TV show or in a movie, we see it all the same for drawing our characters. Are there some characters maybe we left out that you think could pop up in there? Maybe you think it's just going to be everybody they possibly can. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.